Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon podcast. We have a great episode today. Natasha, how are you? You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You look like you're solving a crime, but in Paris.
That's actually very similar to what I was going for.
You look good.
Thank you, honey. Can I just say I'm glad to have some people to help give you perspective.
Well, you don't know what perspective they're going to give. She's assuming you guys are going to back her up. All right, listen. Before we get started, this is a first for us as a podcast. We are having another couple on that also hosts a couple-themed relationship. It's called Couples Therapy.
Yes.
Yes. That's Naomi Ekperigin and Andy Beckerman. Ladies and gentlemen, there they are.
Hi,
Oh,
hello.
my goodness.
Yes.
I mean,
Thank you for having us to your lovely home.
Thank you for joining us. And we could come on your podcast, but then again, you could just release this one and not have to do the work.
Wait, I thought we
Crossover
were
episode.
doing that.
Wait,
Yeah,
can we
do it then. Yeah.
crossover sensation.
can we do our intro now?
Absolutely. 100%. We'd love that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Couples Therapy. My name is Andy.
And I'm Naomi.
We're a real-life couple.
a real-life couple of comedians.
And on Couples Therapy, we answer a couple different questions from a couple different listeners. Our guest today.
Okay, let me tell you. Our guest today, let me tell you about them.
Wait,
okay?
why are you guys so much better at this than us? I don't like this at all.
Okay, Moshe, you went to Burning Man, and let me tell you why I
Yes,
think...
we have to hear about Burning Man. Let's hear all the deets.
Whatever this
The deets
is,
and treats.
this is the opposite of a microaggression. This is a macroaggression, what you're doing right now.
Well, that's what I do. I like to
Alpha-ing-
put people on their heels.
Alpha-ing us on our own podcast in our home. I'm just grateful you guys are outside because there's a small power dynamic differential. That feels really good.
But the reason why I was surprised by you, okay, first of all, let me tell you what I think of both of you. You both are people to me who don't suffer fools. And then also, I do think that you're both two Caucasians who have taken lovers of color in your past. That's something I thought about both of you. So,
Can I ask you, do you analyze white people based on that rubric often?
I do think about it often.
Interesting.
And I do get it like when I meet somebody. And of course, whether I'm right or wrong, as much as like, do you give me that vibe?
Right.
That's a good sign.
Wait, I get the first one. I get the that you don't suffer fools because although you're very friendly and very nice, automatically I've projected my insecurities upon you.
Okay, well, that's true.
And
Do you think I was trying to draw them out of you psychically, sort of?
No, it's just my own messed up psyche.
What about, who do you feel more insecure around, me or Natasha?
I think it's for you as Moshe.
I think both. I gotta say
Interesting. It's an
both.
equal.
Yeah, it's an equal. Although I saw Natasha was one of my first stand-up shows that I saw in New York.
Whoa.
When you were-
Okay.
So
I
there
hate
is
when
a s-
people say this. They're like, when I was in college.
No.
When I was in high school.
I had been a philosophy professor already.
Okay, great.
And then moved to New York to do comedy.
Naomi, have you had that yet? You might not have, but you're gonna. Where they go, I grew up listening to your comedy.
Oh,
and
God.
You're just like,
I'm not
kill
ready.
me now.
I'm
Naomi,
not
you
ready.
are so funny. Every time I see you perform, you're just like
Oh,
so
thank
funny.
you.
You're
so
ready for
much.
that, but you're not ready for a 30-year-old to say, I grew up listening to you. And you're like, no.
Well,
Well,
but Natasha, you like me also understand the importance of having your purse on stage.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
I-
a purse stager. Interesting.
I've seen other people doing it, and I'm like, I do think that it's like either a natural thing or not. But like, well, first of all, there's no green rooms for us. So where are we going to put it?
Exactly.
And also, purses are cute, you know?
Natasha does a thing where she'll force an audience member to hold her purse and not touch it. Because it's like, it'll be
Well, I don't want him getting like nacho grease on it or something.
But wait, Naomi, what is it about them where you think? So I get the first part, but what is it about them that you think they've also each taken a lover of color?
Well, you know, Moshe's down for the culture. You know what I mean? In
Thank
general,
you.
that's his whole like Bay Area energy.
I appreciate
Sure.
that.
You
But
love hip-hop.
then Natasha, you know, because Natasha initially, because she will play a high status character on stage, but then you find out IRL, she was out here in these streets struggling.
She was
You know what I'm
struggling in
saying?
these streets,
And
yeah.
I think if you Caucasian, but you've come from the streets of struggle, you come across more non-white people. You kind of have a little more, maybe more class solidarity and less race solidarity, and you might be a little more open in your
I
heart.
can't tell you how just gleeful this analysis
No,
of
but
me and Natasha makes me
Here's
feel.
what's bad
there's
about
nothing
it.
I want more from a woman of color than that specific validation. So thank you.
Here's what's bad about it. What about our child?
Oh yes, snobby ass comedy, creamed off the top of the fucking vat.
Well, this is like Family Ties. You're raising an Alex P. Keaton.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're gonna work on her though. We gonna work on her.
By the
Don't
way,
worry.
Family Ties, if they made the reboot now, it would be so funny because Alex P. Keaton wouldn't be like a guy who was interested in Wall Street. He would be like a Nazi, like an actual.
Right.
No, he would be a Bay Area. What do they call
No,
it?
he'd be a QAnon guy. Like there's no
for
like.
sure.
Oh,
He would-
Alex
he was
P. Keaton is a rhino.
Yeah, he would have a
Yeah.
buffalo hat. Yeah, for
Real
sure.
Alex P. Keaton is a rhino. He's a Mitch McConnell, Mitt Romney rhino. Nobody wants him.
Yeah.
He would be the most hardcore. They couldn't talk. They would disown. They would
Right.
disown
He'd have a
him.
YouTube
Right.
channel that would be very popular.
And the parents would just be like Mitt Romney type.
Oh, the parents would be Republicans too.
Wait, I want to hear what Naomi had to say about Burning Man, though.
Okay, yeah.
well, because
she had some questions.
Because you don't suffer fools, you know what I think of Burning Man as the height of white nonsense. And so I think, and even though I know now it's more multiculti, but that's just what I think of because you are choosing to be out in this heat, in this filth.
There's dust storms. It's hilarious.
I can-
That's what I saw.
like a sandstorm, just like all of a sudden overcomes everything.
I can take you through the arc of how I became the type of person that would go to Burning Man, and it doesn't belie my unbelievable grit and authenticity and of the streetsness. It's actually a product of it. So
Okay.
growing up, we'll
Oh,
start
wait,
with,
you're going to do it?
no, it'll be quick. Growing up, we were very poor, and the way that my mom she would take us camping. That was the only thing she could afford to take us to do. So I grew up camping. I'm used to that. I'm used to that. The other thing is that I got very into raves when I was very young.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And Burning Man combines the two.
Exactly. So I was a
Okay.
big, fat, huge raver.
Andy, you would hate it. It's like only techno music.
I mean,
I would hate all. I don't like being outside. A Jew that camps does not sit well with my brain.
Right, it's a different lifestyle.
Right, I don't
It's a different
understand it.
lifestyle.
a Jew that
Yeah.
camps, but originally all the Jews camped. That's our origin story. We were
Oh,
camping in the desert. We were
Oh, I
trying
thought
to.
you were talking about 1942.
Me too.
I was like, that got dark very quickly.
No, I went through a much more inspirational story. But yeah, you're right. We also had some experience in outdoor festivals back then as well.
So for you, it's the rave and dancing.
It started with the rave thing. My first year I went was in '96, so I've been going for a very long
my
time.
God,
I was
yeah.
16 years old the first time I
Wow.
went, and I just heard there was a rave in the desert, and that was good enough for me. Packed in and drove out into the middle of nowhere, and it was the most like mind-boggling experience I've ever had in my life. And it kind of tickled something in me that I have even now. This was my 22nd one that I've been to, which
Natasha.
I was at.
I've been to 3. The last one I was pregnant, and I said never again.
What? She love him. 3?
That's
this
a
is
lot.
a woman.
Would
who
you even
is
come to
giving-
like a pavement show with me?
I did not this week.
You went to a pavement show this week?
Yeah, on Thursday. They did 3 nights at the Orpheum.
I like pavement.
And he's a big pavement. I know pavement is his ride or die. His ride or die. And even too, somebody like you were supposed to go with Andrew, and then he couldn't go, right? So you had that extra ticket. I did not offer myself.
Have you been to one?
No.
No, you saw Ben Gibbard. You went and saw.
Is
you
that
saw
pavement?
No, but you've seen an indie rock show with me.
Oh, but not a thing. I thought you meant specific.
Because I've been to her Ride or Die. I've been to more Morrissey concerts than I ever should have.
Here's the thing, though. A concert does not compare to a 10-day camping
give her
trip
that. I'll give her that.
takes him 2
Yeah.
weeks to prepare for.
Yeah.
That like he wants to bring our kid to. Like then I'm gonna have to start going.
Now hold
like,
on a second. Listen, it is not. I'm not saying it's for everybody. It's not.
yeah.
I'm convinced both.
He
you
is saying it's for children, though.
Wait, the reason I said I think this was before we started recording that I thought it was very like fleshy.
fleshy or fleshy.
Fleshy and flamethrowers,
Fleshy.
but like because I remember doing an improv show.
Oh no! Is this
No, where
your connection?
someone did a monologue and they talked about going to Burning Man and there being a fingering tent.
Oh God!
No, but that's I'm sure real. 'Cause
I'm
there's
sure
an
there's a
orgy
fingering tent. Yeah, there's an orgy dome and
Fingering feels like very aggressive, though. Like for that to
in
be
life.
for that to be the
whole
main
tent.
attraction.
a tenth's worth of fingering.
I mean,
yeah, there could be a fingering nook in a broader tent, but
Exactly.
well, it's a big tent situation, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of the big tent, I do think that you are right that it is ultimate white people shit, but it is simultaneously increasingly becoming I wouldn't say it's even close to the zone of multicultural.
Okay.
But you can tell that people are coming in from communities that haven't historically been represented there. I know that Burning Man as an organization is like doing a lot of work around that. I never really respect that because it always feels like imposing, you want to be here, so let's open up the door to you. It's like if people don't want to go. But I have noticed that the demographics are ever so slightly shifting, which is interesting.
But wait, what's the okay? But and Natasha, I say
They're
this
so
because
befuddled.
because also she was like Natasha went 3 times, and Natasha is serving us a look on a Sunday evening at home. Okay,
Right.
She has no need to give us. If you came to my house on a Sunday night, I would be in a pajama, and you said let's cape it up. And so, as somebody who will cape it up on a Sunday night at home, I can't imagine the experience of going to this space where it is so dusty. I'm assuming it's a porta potty situation.
They're called Portos, Naomi.
It is a porta
That's a
potty.
bakery, and that's as far as I know. I want nothing to do with it. And then also, is the shower also kind of porta potty? There must be a place to wash.
I hate
be?
I hate to tell you, not only mustn't there be, there is not a place to wash. You have to bring your own place to wash. Bring your own wash. BYOW.
So
wow.
he has an RV, but
Yow.
listen,
Well, you would bring, if you went, you won't. But if you did,
You're right.
you would
She
bring
won't.
you would bring an RV and you would wash in your own. You would wash yourself.
Okay, and you can plug in your RV somewhere. There's plugs.
I hate to tell you, but no, there's not.
Hold on.
you can pay more for plugs. You can
No,
go
you
to
can't.
a plugging.
No.
You can go to a plugging camp or plug and play or whatever.
Oh,
Is that a fingering tent?
Yeah,
fingering tent.
I guess you could. Yeah, you could pay enough to get power to your RV. That is
Okay.
true. That is true.
What
Yes.
is
Yeah.
what is Burning Man's connection to isn't there a connection to like the tech psychos?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I have some thoughts about that.
I like calling him the tech psychos.
No, I have some thoughts about this. There's a lot of hay made about how tech has come into Burning Man and is ruining it. But actually, I think it's a more intriguing point than that, which is that tech has always been at Burning Man. Tech used to be cool. And tech has ruined itself, and it's just still there. So the tech man has become the Antichrist.
But tech men are also bros now, and
They're bros now, but they
know.
used to
Right.
be, Angelina Jolie, lip ring, hackers, cool.
Angelina Jolie. That's your description.
No,
never
I
saw
love
the
the
movie
movie Hackers
Hackers?
with Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah. Tech used to be a counterculture, and then it took
Right.
over the world, and it became like a capitalist bro culture, and those people still go. And so it's actually more interesting than them ruining Burning Man, but rather they've ruined the world, and they're just still at Burning Man. So that's
So Burning Man is a microcosm of the globe.
it's certainly a microcosm of the Bay Area, and those people were there then, and they now are billionaires, and they suck and have ruined everything. But they've ruined everything in San Francisco too.
Oh, so should I answer your question?
Yes.
What was the question?
Well, she's saying, how could you
How could
do
you go?
something that horrifying?
Yeah, how do you kind of do it? Are you just associating? Have you found something you like
disassociate.
about it? You know what I mean? Like how, especially I can imagine being pregnant and again, because it's like not physically comfortable per se. You're there for an
Right.
experience.
Isn't it uncomfortable being pregnant just in your own house?
Don't you guys remember when you were like just met each other and you would
do stuff for each other.
do stuff that is like way out of your comfort zone? I don't know. I'm a very tolerant person, and I feel like
Yeah, you're
I'm-
classically a very tolerant person.
well with boyfriends.
Yes,
I'm like
yes.
I often find I'm like I'm like, wow, that is, maybe therapists have told me. But I'm just saying, I went and I tried it, and the last time was like, I was like, oh, I really don't want to do this. And also, I got dressed tonight because I've been with my child for 4 days, and I was really not feeling human. And so I was like, I made him put her down, and I was like, I just need to like make myself feel like how I remember myself.
A Godard ingenue.
Yeah, well, I was like, sometimes you start to really lose sight of yourself. I don't know if you guys want to have kids, but yeah, oh, you don't.
No.
I was just thinking that about you because I was like, I bet you there's some people it's just like they can just skip it and they can just like focus on, art and being creative.
We'd
and-
like you to. That's kind of what this is
No,
about.
because you become
tonight.
completely overrun, like with this thing that's like so insanely lovable that like really like has like a lot of annoying things that slow up your life.
Yes.
Are we talking about childhood or are we talking about Burning Man?
okay, I'm
because
sorry, I'm
that's
sorry.
an exact, accurate description of Burning Man as well. For all of its warts, for all of its lameness and dorkiness and obvious things that would make you not want to go, it is without a question every year, even now, even 22 years later, even as lame as it's become, the most awe-inspiring and overwhelming, fun-packed, extreme, wild party experience that I have all year long. So
Yeah.
I still love it. I still get totally...
And Moshe gets energy from a party like that. I don't. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
and I get that. Yes.
What's my Burning Man? And I think like seeing his passion for it, and I honestly was trying to understand it because I have a lot of friends in my life and a lot of people I really respect who love this festival. All men somehow, but I don't know if it's like a man thing.
No, it is a man. Burning Man is all men. And
No,
that is
but I don't know, it's
so
like-
interesting that we like it so much, but we just go there and we bond as men.
Anyway,
Andy, you
I
really
wanted
like
to really
it. I think
give it-
maybe you should come. Just like...
It
I wanted to give
genuinely
it-
sounds like a living hell to me. It should be in like a Sartre play or something.
You're really quoting the heavy hitters today.
Yeah.
You're really giving us Godard, Sartre.
I was just trying to think he wrote the one about like other people are hell. That one.
Oh, but I wouldn't
Hell
know.
is other
But for me,
people.
it's funny because you say lameness. I don't think lameness as much as because, and I think it just has to do with the fact that I'm a city kid. Like, so for me, this idea
so
of
am I.
being outside. Yeah, but even the Bay is still like pretty.
You're saying it's not New York.
Well,
Yeah.
naturally. But
Yeah.
also like, because even growing up in the city, like you could still like go hike and like not go very far and see very tall trees, right? You know what I mean? Like there was a sense of like
Right.
nature exists and it's pretty. And I did not really have that. And so to me, and I've camped before. I've
What do you
gone
think
to
of it?
camp. I was a counselor at a camp for deaf children in the middle of nowhere, Maryland.
Wait a minute. You were a counselor for deaf children.
Do you do sign language? You
Yes,
know sign
honey, you're
language?
an actor at the National Theater of the Deaf.
You were not. Do you know
Yes.
my deaf connection?
Yes, I do.
I didn't. Have we never talked? Have we talked
I
about this?
tried to talk about it, and you were like, "I don't want to get into this right now. We are in a green room."
Why
were
is your
an
person
actor?
here? Get it on stage.
Before you like, is it the first time you ever met? Before you even introduced
yeah,
yourself?
like
and walked
orally.
over?
Crazy.
Yeah, I like knew, and I was like, "Nah," and he was like,
I
"Hello."
would have totally had that conversation. Did you sign?
Yes, yes. So like I learned. I like first kind of taught myself. Not ASL, but like signs from books, and I was into it. And then when I got to college, I took classes. And then my first job out of college, because the National Theater of the Deaf is like 30 minutes away from where I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like looking for a job out of college, and like, and they were like, well, we would love an actor who signs. And I was like, that's me.
Crazy.
So that was my first
That's
job. out.
amazing.
I knew this.
Yeah.
I've had so many roles that I would have just handed you on a silver platter that just, it doesn't matter. But now, because they've gone and they just didn't.
Oh,
No, I'm
no.
joking. I
I
had
know,
nothing
I
for
know.
you. What,
I know. Like,
were you at the Maryland Secondary School for the Deaf? Is that?
No. So American School for the Deaf in Hartford, Connecticut.
Wow.
My college was in Middletown, Connecticut. And so
You
they
went
would
to
like
Wesleyan.
perform. Yes. And so they came around, and then I was like, and I'd been taking ASL, and I had worked as a counselor.
Why'd you treat it like it was Harvard? You didn't want to say the name.
Well, because I don't know who
It
knows
is,
the
isn't
name
it a mini
Wesleyan.
thing?
Because like Middletown, like Connecticut.
My
is like,
my brother was a Wesleyan man.
Well, see, there you
you
go.
go.
Wait, your brother went to the same college that she did?
Indeed.
I didn't know
As
what
well
an
as-
Ivy
Yeah.
League school was till I was like 29.
Well, it's not
Like
an Ivy
I'm-
League.
Or like I just
It's
didn't
a mini
understand.
Ivy League.
Okay.
It's up
I
there.
just
It's in
don't
the
know about
higher
any of them.
echelons.
Okay.
But I feel like it's such a name. Well, first of all, they're like, 100 Wesleyans. There's like Ohio Wesleyan. People think it's Wellesley. Like, so to me, the name isn't like a name. It's when I go, oh, it's in Connecticut. But I guess if I say in Connecticut, you think I mean Yale? Is that the
No,
problem?
you treat
I don't mean
Wesleyan. You always just say the city it's from, but everyone knows Wesleyan.
Interesting.
It's
Except
only
me.
in your head that you think no one knows.
Andy, where'd
Wesleyan.
you go to school?
I went to Pitt for undergrad and Temple for grad school.
Anyway. Sorry,
See,
Naomi.
exactly.
Naomi, let's
State-
get back to you.
State schools. Exactly.
Naomi,
Exactly.
I met a girl once, and when I met her, she came up to me and she said, Vassar.
No.
I swear to God, it was at my
No.
friend's like party for her college.
Did you
and
punch her?
I had just, I honestly was confused.
Right. You're like, what are you
You
saying?
should have so said like Illinois State.
God, ew.
All right, so we've done Burning Man. I'm
Yes.
back from Burning Man, and listen, here's the real thing. It's the last party on the block for me. My whole teens and 20s, I was at raves multiple nights a week, clubs and raves multiple nights a week. I was a party kid. That's how I got recharged. That's how I refilled my sort of social light bulb or whatever. And it's the last thing I do like that. I do comedy. And I stay home. I'm not like out and so once a year.
It's such a wide. It's such a 0 to 60, right? Because
Yeah.
you're saying like the comedy or at home, or I am in the depths of the desert for 10 full days.
But it's like
Dressed like RoboCop.
I do dress as RoboCop. You heard about that? That's so cool. I do all of the films of God damn it, what's his name?
Oh man, you.
I fucking biffed
Who
it.
is the guy? Who is the guy? We just saw
No, I
RoboCop.
know it's
I know.
fucking. He's the best. He did RoboCop. He did Black
Verhoeven?
Book. Yes, Verhoeven. He
Uh-huh.
did Starship Troopers.
Yes,
He's
yes.
the best.
Verhoeven,
Anyway,
yeah.
Verhoeven.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He's so the best. You didn't know his name.
I do love Paul Verhoeven. He did Elle. He did your favorite
Oh, that was
French
good.
film Elle. Yeah.
Do you see
Okay,
that?
you have a favorite French film? See,
Well-
that's why you're fancy to me. That's what I think you're fancy, Natasha.
You don't
gone
have a
through-
favorite French film?
No.
We've gone through all the greats. We did Sartre, we did Truffaut, and
Good job.
Verhoeven.
It all happened.
I want to hear more of their advice
Oh,
for
you're-
couples, but
yeah.
maybe we should take a call.
No, before we do that, I want to know that we've talked only exclusively about us. They fucking alpha dogged us in our own podcast. We would like to know. Often we ask couples a question about what is your. They say every couple has like 3 fights. What is your 3 fights, or what is your most?
I thought it was
common-
one. Every couple has one. It's like
Three,
the same one.
But what is it? What's your one? What's your most common conflict point?
I would love to hear your answer first.
My assumption. Well, you don't really have it much anymore because we worked out in therapy, but money.
that was definitely one of them.
That's ours too.
We've had that.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's the Jack Sprat and who's his wife? Jack Sprat is the penny pincher, and Jack Sprat's wife. She's Spence.
Different. It's different than that.
What do you fight about?
It's that in grad school, I got used to just living like close to the bone. Like I had no money.
Brokey.
Totally broke. Constantly calling the bank to try to take off an overdraft fee.
Sure.
Oh no, prime example. This man sold a guitar to make rent one month. Okay.
My
I
jazz
mean, my
master.
God,
I sold
what
my
indie
jazz
movie is
master.
that? You know what I mean?
I got a jazz master just like Stephen Malkmus from Favorites for a birthday once, and then I had to sell it to live in New York. Second month I lived in New York.
And
I didn't have
Naomi,
any-
what's your vibe? You like the finer
like-
things in life, or what?
I want to be a Natasha. Yes, I'm trying to thrive, and so that's like the tricky part is like, Andy doesn't because I guess like because I want to say like so we've been together 13 years, and I would say for 8 of them like we've never really been employed at the same time, and I think that as we sort of once we moved in and this kind of conversation like okay what do we want to have and what do we need to do to get it, it was like I don't know like
Oh, I know exactly. I also grew up with this kind of like don't sell out mentality. So as long as I had enough money to live and also was making the art I wanted to make without interference, then I was happy and fine and I thought everything was good.
and
God,
it sucks to go to one of those jobs, to like go to Starbucks or work as a waiter or whatever
see-
it is.
Oh, not even that. I didn't even mind that. I'm just talking about like a creative job where someone's telling me what to do.
Not even that, because it would even be like a temp job or an office job. This man sat in a job interview for like an office job, right? And this is just to pay bills to live. And they go, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And he goes, well, I see myself writing for television, so I'm just trying to do whatever. I was like, bitch, you lie to him and say you want to live
Here.
in this company.
I'm gonna be
You're gonna
here.
be here. You're gonna die in this company.
I was like, oh, I'll be out of here in about a year,
That's
probably.
hilarious. That's
Like
funny.
he didn't get,
You
and it
know.
would be that kind of thing because it's so true. Because he was like, well, as long as I have it, I'm like, whereas for me, I will do to have that financial worry off my back means a lot to me. So I will take a day job.
You
that's
took
bad just to have it.
After your first year at Broad City, you worked at a
I was
at a law firm. No,
yeah,
what was it?
Legal staffing. I was like,
Legal
I was a
staffing.
temp at a temp
Oh,
agency.
so you'll take a panic job.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I think, and it's because it's certainly how I was raised. I also have, my mom was somebody, a single mother. She worked hard. Where she was like, like I remember I was unemployed, and I might have been like 25, 26. It was somewhere, just like a few months stretch, and my mother just looked me in the face and she goes, "I did not sacrifice for this to be your life." So it was a wrap. It was no like, and she didn't understand too. And I was doing stand up, and of course, when does that
Right.
become lucrative? Where she was like, she'd be like, "Oh, how was your show?" And I was like, "Oh, it's good." I was like, "Only like 5 people," and she'd be like, "Well, then why did you go?"
And why haven't you retired?
Exactly. Like, you have to give this up.
Naomi, didn't you know a little bit in the back of your head that she wasn't completely right?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would say, so I got laid off from my day job in 2013. And then, so that was
I
like,
still had a day job then, so
Yes.
I was the sole
right.
breadwinner.
And then I was doing my unemployment. Then I got Broad City, but that was only 3 months, 4 months.
The
And then I was
timeline
just
seems
digging
off
myself
to me.
out of a hole.
I swear to God, I got Pete Holmes, and then you got Broad City the next year. because you had nothing. You remember?
Well,
You
see,
had
this is the problem.
nothing.
We go back and forth, then back and
Wait,
forth.
hold on. Are you guys the same age?
No, I'm a little older.
This feels to me like a line in the middle, and there's a millennial here and a Gen Xer here.
Wow, so?
It
'Cause the
just feels
pavement?
like the pavement and the I'm not just like down to live in poverty. It seems cool.
No,
and then,
that's the thing.
that like has that thing has no one's down with that anymore.
No.
That's a generational like mark. And then millennials are like, I'm about to hustle. Give me the hustle and money. And it's just interesting to see it in one couple.
But that's the thing. I don't have a safety net. I don't come from money.
No,
Like,
I'm not saying
if
I'm not
you
saying
were
it's born of
okay.
privilege. Believe me, I'm down with the culture, but I don't even believe in white privilege. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm not saying it's even born of privilege. I'm saying it almost feels generational in a way.
I was
Like,
gonna say Andy looks like such a young, because I was thinking that too, but you do seem young.
Yeah, I'm
very
not saying you're
youthful.
old. I'm saying
plentiful moisturizer.
no. I'm just saying it's a mentality from a certain like culture.
Like
Yeah.
now it's cool to sell out.
Yeah,
Now it's
now
like
it-
selling out's the goal.
For
Like,
sure,
yeah.
Everyone
Right,
on
right.
TikTok, they're trying to figure out how to sell out.
Yes.
That wasn't the thing 20 years
No,
ago.
no.
And the idea of like for me, it would go back to my thing with raves. Raves were always about being underground, staying underground. One must be underground. No one wants to be underground anymore. Your personal brand cannot thrive underground.
Absolutely. Hashtag ad. We're all trying to hashtag ad this
We are
life.
trying to hashtag ad life.
But I think it's also like, but we've talked about, because I think it was for me. So for instance, growing up without money, but being around rich people.
In New York, oh my
That's
God,
a
that
New
was
York
very
shit.
aware.
crazy.
And
That's
it was
very
that-
New York.
And that was
Yeah.
the thing. I was just aware. I was like, oh, this is what you can have or what life can be or the moment, because I went to fancy ass private school. So I was living in Harlem before Harlem was cute. Okay. So I have to remind people pre-Red Rooster. And then, but going to school on Park Ave. And so I did grow up just like very aware of money and knowing, for instance, okay, I have a scholarship, but it's not for everything. So, okay, what are you going to do to make like, so I was like, and my goal, it wasn't even about being rich. It was like, I think, I used to be like, I just want to be able to put avocado on a sandwich without worried about it. You know what I'm saying? Like just be able to have some extras without overthinking it.
Were your friends at that school, did they have money?
Yeah.
So you were kind of growing up around kids like that.
Oh, she's going to school with like the children of the masters of the universe, right?
Wait,
They are-
He-Man's children?
Yes,
Went to your
He-Man's-
private school? They're not even from New York.
all
they know
of
where
them,
the good
She-Ra's
education-
kids.
So they come in from Grayskull to Park
That sounds-
Avenue?
For the education.
Wow. This is very elite. This is very
The
elite.
kids of the Thundercats too.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. They're all there.
Well, Naomi, I have dreamed of going to Spence, and I still feel like I would like to enroll.
This is a high school you want to go to?
It's like where Gwyneth
Yes, where
Paltrow
Gwyneth
went.
went.
It's like they take you to the art museums and they like show, French films
Uh-huh.
and everyone's very cultured and I'm sure it's like horrifying. But anyway, it was always my dream and I was always trying to like find that.
How did you know about that school though? Because to me, I'm like, how do you?
I had no idea.
She's
I
class
went to-
obsessed and
I
always
w-
has been.
I went to Exeter High School, and apparently Exeter is a very fancy private school.
Yeah,
So
a boarding school.
and I went to Exeter Township High School. Okay, so when I told people where I went, I just said Exeter, and they got very like, "Oh wow!" Like, "Oh, I have to pay
Vassar.
attention." Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I have to pay
Exeter.
attention to this person now. They're not just like scum that I can step on.
Interesting. I don't really
So
think any of this.
I had no idea. I didn't know about Andover until like we did something where we had to. It doesn't matter.
What's Andover? Is that where you went to school?
No, it's just like another
It's
one of
another
those
one of
one of
these-
those prep schools. So like, but it's just funny because I'm like, if I hadn't grown up in New York and my mother wasn't so determined to send me someplace, I would have known. And it's so funny you say Spence because I looked at Spence and because I come from Catholic school, I didn't want to wear a uniform again. And I was like, wow, these kids get to wear whatever they want at Dalton. But then little did I know that's its own nightmare because then it is who and
Who's
what are
got
you
the
wearing?
money to be able to wear it?
Right.
Right.
I was like, God damn it, I should have gone to where
That's why we've done the kind of split the difference. So our kid is in a Waldorf school right now. So you can wear whatever you want, but it has to be like made of hemp or earth. And so there's no
No, but
you
they don't
can't
allow jewelry.
Yeah, they don't allow
Oh,
jewelry.
okay.
Like it's not a uniform situation, but you do have to dress like an elf. Like a little bit. You have to dress like you're from Middle Earth. That's sort of an important thing.
Oh,
Wait, as a mother, I'm wondering, do you feel like your mother's will was pressed upon your? Are you? I mean,
We are
I
opening
know
a
that's
can
a
of
big question,
worms.
but are you happy that she gave you such
Yeah, is your
an
mom
amazing
whack at all,
opportunity?
or is she cool?
No, we already know that she really respects her because
No, yes, it is true. And there are definitely, yes, I appreciate all of it. But I think it's also different though, because you say as a mother, you are married to someone who helps you and who you like, and I think that's a totally different vibe, right? I think
Than what you two have. That's cool.
No, you're right though, because
That's why our
sometimes
animals
Oh,
hate
then a
us.
single mom with a single will.
I need Moshe to like fill in the gaps, and I'm like, thank God this guy's here because I'm just like not doing it.
But
like,
we have different skills. I see what you're saying. It's not one unified will that's pushing her destiny. It's like a
and also
combo.
you get a break, and you get a break, and there's a little bit. Whereas
Right.
I think there was no buffer between me and the truth and the struggle and the difficulty in a way that I think when there's a couple, right? It's like mom and dad are gonna go talk now, and then you like go behind a closed door and have a conversation, and then like.
But
the truth is
honestly,
revealed.
at least your mom had a coherent philosophy, even if it was overbearing. Like I grew up with a single mom, and my mom, it just always felt like she was just vibrating with the ability to like keep moving. Like there was no philosophy. I mean, there was like 4
no,
rules.
your mom had a husband though, and you had
But
a brother.
he had no connection to what I'm saying something else, which is my upbringing. There was no like this is where you will go. It was just like we love you. Don't get a tattoo or join the military. That was sort of it. Like I love you. Don't join the military. Don't get a tattoo. That was kind of
Everything else was amorphous. It was just
there
like
was just yes, no guidance, no guidance other than love. There was a lot of love, but there was definitely not any. I like that. There's something.
But maybe that's why you're successful.
I was
Maybe
going
it
to
is.
say you have a healthy self-esteem and you could survive Burning Man. You obviously have
I have
skills.
survival skills.
Right?
That's
like you could
true.
be out in the world in a way. I mean, because like Andy and I would talk about this a lot because I was like, Andy's parents were like, son, you're a genius. You're perfect. Like they were very supportive
That's
of
how
your...
Moshe's parents were.
No. Tell it, sister.
they are very yes. They had very high standards. And I think that is not bad, but also like if you didn't meet those high standards, like I went to a public school and I'm pretty smart, so I could just get by. I did like my final semester, I did my calculus homework on the bus. I did my Latin homework in calculus class. I did my German homework in Latin class. And then
You could have been being pushed through like some system.
If you had Naomi's mom, you would be running the atomic energy system in this country right now. You want to hear my ultimate claim to fame with bullshitting academia? I wrote a book report on a passage to India my freshman year of high school, and I have never, to this day, read the book. I haven't even perused the book. I read the intro and the back cover.
No.
And I got a B minus. But I thought that was pretty. I mean, I
that's
never
pretty
read. I don't know what that book is about. I mean, I know it's about traveling in India vaguely.
my parents would have lost it if I had done. If I got an A minus and they know I could have, and I didn't, and I was doing work like that on the bus, they would have been really angry at me.
Oh yeah, my worst GPA was 8th grade. It was a 0.57. I had an F minus and a D in I think PE, and everything else was an F.
Wait, where were you going? Like
He
what
was
were you-
like doing LSD.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just a drug
Well, I was going
drug
to ask
addict.
you when you said raves. I was like, did that come with drugs?
Actually, it's very interestingly no.
Okay.
I when I was on drugs as a very young teen, I was like a really for the culture in that I thought I was in the culture. Does that make sense? I believed myself to be a member of the culture. And then I got sober when I was very young, at 16, and I was 6 months sober, and I left kind of that life of like, white thuggery behind. And I was like, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. And I literally had seen a 2020 episode about raves once. And there was this rave that had flyers all over Oakland, this big rave called Cyberfest. And I was like, I'm 6 months sober and I'm going to go. And I went by myself.
I bet it like replaced the drug high for you.
100%. But it also did this other thing, which I've talked about before, which is it had this really therapeutic. It was a huge part of my recovery in a weird way because I probably was like teetering on getting high the whole time I was there. But the thing about raves back then, especially, was it was this like weird enforced infantilization. Everybody's in like glowy outfits and candy necklaces and pacifiers, and everybody's hugging and being very effeminate. And I was from this like extreme version of toxic masculinity that I had been raised in Oakland, and so being around that had this almost restorative, like all of a sudden I became this very effeminate, like I was putting barrettes in my hair and dyeing. I had little Bjork buns and glitter and stuff. So I went through this like really big transformation to eventually kind of come back to like the regular person that I am now. So it's a part of my journey. And that's maybe why I'm still go to Burning Man, because I still have these like little
You're
tiny
sentimental.
glimpses. I am sentimental. I'm a very sentimental person. Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
This time it's been a month, but I don't know how long. 10 years?
We don't really count.
I think 10 years. I think 10.
Oh, okay, wow.
We just had our 7-year wedding anniversary.
Okay.
We did?
Okay, well,
No, I thought it was 5 years.
no, I don't think so.
Natasha, where have you been?
Checked out mentally, disassociating like she does at Burning Man. I am her Burning Man.
Wait, why don't you like to count? Why don't you like to keep numbers together?
It seems unimportant.
It is a little bit unimportant, I guess.
I
Yeah.
guess there's other things. I don't know. I also feel I always like to round off, round up,
That's where you rounded down.
round down. Any of it. I don't
You
know.
just like to round.
See, both of you like amorphous things. You like this kind of just like being, just existing.
There are things, we have a Venn diagram where we're really solidly together on. And then there are parts of each of our personalities that are very disparate. And I think that's good in a way. Like, it doesn't help with our Netflix selection, but we also have these really different kind of like parts of our lives that don't really come together.
Yeah.
Like, I started DJing again recently, and Natasha's really, really not into it. So things like that.
I don't like techno.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's good though, and it's better now than it used to be. It's real
But
good.
I can see it's a polarizing music.
It is, in
You
fact.
either like it or you don't.
It's
There's
kind
no
of
like
it's kind of
chilling.
it's kind of the pavement of.
No, it's not. Pavement's not polarizing.
You think everybody loves pavement? You're literally
It's
with
chill.
a woman.
I think more
You're literally
people-
with the woman you've been with for 13 years, and she won't come see it.
anything-
Burning Man was more possible to get.
Techno is like the ska of that kind of music.
That's
No, but
real.
there's ska in. There is the ska of techno. I would say that's happy hardcore, and that's the ska
Oh
of
my
techno.
God. Listen,
So-
honey, it's all bad.
All right, should we do-
Hopefully you all grow this. We've got people waiting to talk
You
to
guys
us.
are
my
a
God,
delight.
let's
I could
talk
do
to
this for hours, but yes, we do have some calls. Hey, Tosh.
Hey, Moshe.
I had a bad day today.
Oh, I saw
Yeah, the dogs peed on my most prized possession,
your mattress.
my Helix mattress.
And they peed on my rugs, my prized possession.
Well, I don't know about rugs, but what I know about is the Helix mattress. I used to not sleep on a Helix, and my back was all jacked. And now, I just got back from Burning Man, and I was fantasizing on my drive home about getting on my firm, cooling pad, Twilight Helix mattress, and it's made my back problems go away, and I look forward to jumping in bed at night because it feels so good.
That is really cute.
And then these freaking dogs peed on it. But anyway,
Sorry, I got home and there was baking soda all over the bed.
if you want a mattress that you will look forward to coming home to, not because you get to crawl in bed and make your problems go away, but because you get to jump in bed and feel your body relax, get yourself a Helix mattress. I cannot recommend it enough.
The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress just for kids.
We're a Helix family, and we want you to join, okay? I took the Helix sleep quiz, and like I said, I got the Twilight model mattress, but Natasha sleeps really hot, so we got the cooling pad on top, and it's just so cool. It feels a little bit like icy, but in like a really comfortable way. It's so awesome.
Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night risk-free trial. Try out your new Helix mattress, see how your body adjusts, and if you decide it's not the best fit, you're welcome to return for a full refund.
It's so dope, too. It comes to your house. It's this box. You open it up, and then you just pierce the plastic, and all of a sudden, you've got a new mattress.
Honestly, I want more.
It's going to change your life. I do want another one. Okay, Helix is now offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Just go to helixsleep.com/honeymoon. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
Do you like one of those t-shirt sheets?
Ugh. No, I'm sorry. I don't like those.
How about full polyester?
No. Oh, you're kidding. Okay.
What about a high thread count, super high quality,
Ding,
cut
ding,
out
ding,
the
ding,
middleman,
ding, ding, ding,
not
ding,
as
ding,
expensive
ding,
as buying
ding,
from
ding.
retail, but as high quality as a hotel sheet that you luxuriate on?
Yes, that sounds like what I would like.
Well, that sounds like Brooklyn.
Brooklinen is home of the internet's favorite sheets, was created to give customers luxury hotel-level home essentials. They offer everything from snuggly sheets to cozy towels and robes, loungewear, accessories, and much more. The crisp white sheets, I love them so much. I have had them on my bed for almost 2 years now. They're amazing, and they're like exactly what I want.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all about thread count, by the way. They've got all these different options, and thread count is the least important one of their options. They've got this, it's all about what you want. They've got this crisp, classic Perkle with a thread count
I
of...
don't think that's how you pronounce it, honey.
Perkale? Perklale?
All of those are wrong.
Parkley?
Percal.
Perkale. Or they've got this silky, buttery smooth Luxe Sateen. Did I get that one right?
Yes, honey, you did get that one right.
Each sheet is made with ultra-durable cotton that will get softer and softer with each and every wash. So you feel like you're snuggling up in a breathable, supreme comfort every single night, no matter how you sleep.
So refresh your rest today with Brooklinen's best-in-class bedding. Go to brooklinen.com and use promo code ENDLESS to get $20 off plus free shipping on your purchase of $100 or more.
That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code ENDLESS for $20 off plus free shipping on your purchase today. Get out of your college sheets and get your adult on. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Have you ever noticed that your titties look really perky and perfect?
Yeah, I have actually.
Well, I have as well, and it's because you're wearing a Third Love bra.
What if you could finally have a bra that makes your boobs look and feel amazing and is actually super comfortable to wear all day?
Well, they've got this Third Love 24/7 classic t-shirt bra that will make your boobs look great. Yours, because
that's the one I wear because I'm not a bra person. And when I put this on, if I'm going to like a religious thing or, something where I need to have a bra on,
Sure.
like an interview or
a job interview
where I don't want my nipples popping out.
You just started up as one of the Best Buy Genius people, right? The Geek Squad, the Geek Squad. Anyway, listen, if you want a bra that's comfortable, that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and that also helps women in need, well, that's Third Love. Not only do they make the best bras in the business, but they also are the largest donor of undergarments in the U.S. Partnering with organizations across the United States, Third Love has donated over $40 million worth of bras to help people in need.
Also, these bras come in over 60 sizes and half cups, so you can get the perfect fit. And I think that's one of the reasons why they fit so well. That's why it's really important to take the quiz first.
Yeah, it's called the Fitting Room Quiz. I tried taking it, and I got an error message that said, "Please log off, you pervert."
So ditch your bad bras. Get a better one today that makes you look and feel great. Upgrade your bra and get 20% off your first order today at thirdlove.com/honeymoon.
That's 20% off your first order today at thirdlove.com/honeymoon.
Okay, now we're going to call Nara in Moab.
Moab.
Now we're going to call Nara in Moab, Utah.
Moab. That's the place.
Have you been there?
No, but it's beautiful. I have driven through Moab. It's beautiful. Rocks, beautiful rocks.
Feels
very
Burning Man.
Very Burning Man. Yes.
Is Moab Mormon country?
I think not. I mean, it's all
interesting.
Mormon country, but it's much more nature country, right?
Are there people who like the desert more than the ocean?
Yeah, for sure. We're talking to one of them right now. Are you calling from an
do?
arch,
Oh.
even as we speak?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
She does look like she lives in Moab.
Yeah, Moab, right? Moab.
Moab. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I'm the only person here that camps. Literally, I'm the only one.
Is that a
You don't want to
biblical
camp
thing?
here.
It is a biblical thing. Every town in Utah with a weird name is just named after some Israeli village from the Palestinian 6,000 years ago kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, tell them we have guests.
Oh, we have guests joining us from couples therapy and from all kinds of funny stuff. Naomi Ekperigin and Andy Beckerman, our guests. They're wise, they're funny, and they've been together longer than us, and they're better podcast hosts.
Oh my gosh. So excited to meet you. Hello, everybody.
Nice to meet you, too. Do you climb arches and stuff like that?
Like I used to, and I was trying to meet boys and impress
Have them up there?
but,
Climbing arches, that would be a great way to meet a man.
Oh, man, we've never recommended that. Everybody here is on apps.
yeah, no, the original way to meet people here is definitely just like get in over your head with a terrifying climbing experience and like fall off a rope.
And have some boy come in and be like, "I'll help you."
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how can we help?
Well, that's super related to my question, actually, because so I got married this summer
Woo!
to a man.
Congratulations.
Thank
Hold
you.
on, everyone.
Oh,
Yes.
We may not be
No.
excited yet.
Yeah, let's
No,
we're
it's a
waiting.
congratulations.
Okay.
That's all
he's
good.
trapped
That part's
under a boulder right now in a cave.
He's totally fine. I think the issue that I'm having has to do with kind of with like, the assessment of your life that you make when you're preparing to get married. And you're like, all right, time to like contact all the friends and like take stock of how popular I am. So my issue is that I realize I don't really have any male friends anymore. And my partner has like all these female friends. And he's kind of like, it's weird that you only hang out with like your brother and your ex-boyfriends, and those aren't real male friends. So I'm at this weird stage where I'm married and like trying to make male friends potentially.
Wait, Nara, why? Why do you want
why?
to, like, Nara, honey, why do you want
I
to
know.
be friends with a man?
I know.
Right, like let's
Really
as
good
little
question,
as
yeah.
possible with the men. I mean, if you're hetero, like you got to have one around, but a bunch.
Yeah, I kind of thought that might be like the immediate response. And
well, I don't. I
think-
kind of understand where you're coming from. I have a lot of female friends in my life, and I really value having a platonic female energy in my life. I think it's really important.
Or are you trying to compete with him because he has a bunch of women
That's
friends?
a great
He
question.
has a harem, so you want a cadre.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little bit of both. I will also say he was my male friend, and I feel like I really like lost him to
Yeah,
marriage.
you shit the bed on that one for sure. Yeah.
yeah, he was like my only male friend, and like that just goes to show like you maybe can't have male friends because then you end up accidentally sleeping with them and then eventually marrying them. So like I'm not sure.
Wait,
it is worth it.
you have a question, Naomi, or are
No,
you just
I just-
loving everything about
I
this?
just love everything about it because I love it's like because Nara, Nara's like, look, I have a sexual energy, and when these men come into my orbit, we be fucking,
Yeah.
and I can't help it. How do
Is
I
that
get
the issue?
more? How do I get more male friends? Nara, honey.
The part
So I
of
should
this
try
that
to like dull it down a little, maybe.
the part of this, yeah, you're exuding an insane amount of sexual energy. The part of this that is interesting to me is that your husband is pressuring you to go make more male friends. Does he feel insecure about his female why does he care about the gender breakdown of your friendship circle?
That's a good question. I think it's probably a little. He's the ultimate go-to male friend, and I think that's like very obvious. Again, with our wedding, especially, I was like, okay, your best man is a woman. Like you have like a lot of close female friends you talk to constantly, and I don't.
How many
actually,
down the row were women of all the best men?
Just the one. Was
Oh,
pretty-
okay.
It's small. Yeah, it's Moab.
Are there
Moab.
any-
Very casual.
you-
There was one boulder that just was, I guess,
There.
the maid of
That
honor.
was our officiant,
golem?
yeah.
Yeah. There was a
Are you
golem.
jealous of any of the girls? Are there
No, I don't actually feel that way. And I think, again, it's because I think I came in as a friend, so like I saw that side. But I think for me, I have an older brother. So I'm like, my early socialization was very like, I'm one of the boys. Like, let me in. I want to hang out with you guys and do like boy stuff.
But he let you?
Well, it was with a price. Like, I had to, endure quite a bit of like physical, like tormenting. and-
He sounds
Yeah.
great. This sounds great.
Yeah,
No, really,
sounds like
yeah,
you really
super
do
healthy
want to have a lot of
relationship
male
with men.
friends.
yeah. I wonder why she's sort of reluctant to go back there socially.
Why don't we?
Well, my male, my primary male relationship was with my brother, who ritually tortured me our entire childhood. So
I think you should ask yourself, how do I make more friends? If
Yeah.
you want more
Yeah.
friends, like
How many non-binary friends do you each have?
it's Moab. There's one person in town.
Well, yeah, Moab.
I think you should
rural
each have the
Utah,
exact
so-
same number of non-binary, genderqueer friends, male and female friends.
And that's how you know the relationship is
Solid.
solid.
Rock solid.
Rock solid.
It's
Also,
Moab.
I have some really bad news for you, which
Okay.
is, all of my male friends, some of them are ex-boyfriends, but a lot of them are men who I've had in my life for a long time who maybe thought we would date at some point and then we didn't and whatever. But I guess my point is no one wants to be your friend.
I know,
No
that's what
male,
I'm scared
no
of.
like man your age. Like I don't know. I just feel like they're all gonna think they're gonna get confused because they're new friends and they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, why do I want to be friends with this like hot woman that I could like have.
What a
I know I
what
sound.
an analysis of men.
Well, she even said you accidentally marry them.
But I'm with you though, because I'll say this: I don't have straight male friends. Really, and the ones I do have are are married. Like
They're
I'm
from
saying,
like a long
But
time
that's
ago,
'cause
right?
no,
I've
like,
threatened them all.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they run screaming, Andy.
I mean, men just want to hook up. I mean,
That's just so not. That is so reductive and not true. It's just not true. Well, it's kind of true.
It's kind of
no,
true.
it's a
because,
little
like,
true.
I do think that it can be really tricky, and it's certainly not a blank statement. But like, I also find too, I'm like, especially I noticed just because a lot of my stand up is about us or being in a relationship. Men don't engage with me. Like I don't meet people out because they know, and even though it's not like
It has nothing to do with knowing about me. It's that you're you're like screaming about like cookies and cream flavors for like 10
and being
minutes.
sex
no,
negative.
people
turn
know
off.
that she has a partner, and it's
When
like,
does that stop the dirty dogs though?
Because no, I think you flirt. Because I agree though. It's like I think heterosexual friendships will start with like a flirtation that then doesn't happen.
That then fizzles into a
Yes,
friendship.
and then fizzle into a friendship. But without that initial flirtation, because I mean, think about it. How many female friends do you have who are single and straight?
Oh, and straight?
Yeah, no, really. Nope.
Single and straight?
No.
Am I alone? I have a lot, and not all of them are women that I used to almost date or that almost dated me.
that's true. You do, but I don't know what that is about you.
It's that
How do
it's,
you make those friends?
You
Like,
probably
Well-
tried to fuck a bunch of them, though. No, don't
Yeah.
lie.
No, I'm going to try to fuck a bunch of them.
No,
They're in the back pocket.
I bet you most of your female friends you tried to fuck at one time. I swear to God, if you think about it, I bet you even when you were 18, because you have a lot of these girls who you've been friends with for like 20 years.
I hear what you're saying. A lot of relationships were once almost romantic and then fizzled. But I'm more on this like the one thing that you can't rush is making old friends. You can't, that's that. There's no way to.
Especially friends that you'd rather go hang out with than be with your newlywed. I mean, how many people?
Or your girlfriends that you already have a relationship
Yeah.
with. What about gay men? How about that?
Again, rural Utah, so like.
So you're saying there are not a lot of options there, but I also feel like isn't rural Utah just teeming with men? Like, do you go back to climbing? Do you do something masculine, quote unquote? You know what I mean, where you can like hang out with people? Because it's true what Natasha was saying is like you're just talking about making new friends, and so it sounds like it's like go back to the stuff you like to do. And if you're saying you grew up as like a rough and tumble, and I'm sure what else are you doing in Utah? You're like out there, honey. You're
What
hiking.
about like build a militia?
Yeah, that's
build a militia.
To be honest, the militia is almost exclusively a male genre.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get a lot of women coming to that if you start the militia. But I'm more curious. Do you have a lot of girlfriends?
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with your social life?
I feel like I'm starting to sense that something's missing. I think the issue is that I have identified that I like hate most of my female friends' partners.
well,
right?
Oh, partners.
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 That's
No,
fair.
sorry. I love my friends, but their partners kind of suck. So I
Fair.
tend to kind of initiate these very like, okay, girls' night, like,
Right.
girls only, and it's really just so like their partners won't come. But I think maybe I'm giving off this vibe of being very like, female centric in my socializing, and then like obviously, married. So I'm not really like attracting the like benign.
I have
male
to be
friend
honest.
types.
Oh, Naomi,
Now, I just need to know, why do you want a man friend right now?
I'm not seeing
like,
that either.
what is he? I'm like, what is it? Because it sounds like maybe it's just because like your husband said something and now you're feeling a little like self-conscious.
Inadequate, right.
Yeah, like because also I'm also going to disagree with him when he says your brother and exes don't count as real friends. Plenty of people have siblings they don't fucking talk to. So
Right.
if you and your brother are hanging, you're friends. Okay?
Yeah, that's a
Good
great
point.
point.
I'm with that for sure. And I if you're satisfied, you're not satisfied with your social life. That becomes Natasha's question. You just want to make some new friends. This whole dynamic of like I should have more male friends. I've never heard that before. I've never heard that there ought to be an exact balance in gender. In fact, if anything, if I was around and there was a married woman that was like, hey, I'm looking for some new male friends, I would be like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like,
Yeah,
I would be like, there's
absolutely.
something up, and I don't know what it is exactly, but it's definitely odd.
She
Like,
kind of misses being his friend, maybe.
is that what it is?
Well, I should also say we, as of last week, are now long distance married.
Okay,
right.
Nora,
This
you're
is
taking
the real
you're
question.
taking your time, Nora.
I
girl.
see.
Here we are.
The-
We've
okay, the
excavated.
question is adjusting in my mind to how do I begin an affair?
I mean, yeah, the affair is like potentially the best way.
Wait,
to
are
lead
you-
to
are you-
any
are you-
friendship.
Is it, hold on.
Nora.
Are you
this
open?
You're on
open?
video. You're on video.
Are you open now?
He knows. I told him he should probably get on Tinder to try to make.
Don't
friends
you
in
tell him
general.
that. He already got too many damn female friends. Don't you tell his ass
I
to go
know.
on Tinder.
He's like, why would I need Tinder? I have 700 women directly surrounding me at any given point. Where is he? Where are you? And are you guys in an open relationship?
Okay, we're not in an open relationship. He's in the Bay Area.
Okay, that's what's up.
Teaming with, attractive people.
Sure.
Teaming.
I'm here. I think I'm just worried if I don't talk to or interact with another male. Period.
You want
what's
to feel
gonna
cute.
happen?
You want to feel
Yeah.
cute. I
Yeah.
think you miss a little bit because you're not getting that
Yeah.
love. You're not getting that.
Oh.
And you need somebody to be like, hey, girl, hey.
Go on 4chan.
Yeah.
Go on 4chan. Yeah.
I mean, loyal guys, right?
They're definitely loyal to their militias, actually. Okay, what's he doing in the Bay Area, and how long is that going to go on for?
He is. He has a postdoc, so he's. Yeah, it's sciencey stuff that I don't necessarily understand. 2-year commitment, a little bit of back and forth. My life is pretty established here. I'm a homeowner and I have a good career, and it also costs $1 bajillion to rent anything
Right.
in that area. And this is again rural Utah, so that's kind of our.
It's
holding
very
pattern
hard
right
to
now.
have a long distance marriage.
Yeah. What happens after the postdoc?
I mean, I hope just he solves climate change, I guess, and then we're.
But
good to
would he
go.
come back home
But
or
from
just,
Moab?
Yeah, that's the question.
No, not from Moab. You can't do anything. Of
I
value
think you need
from
to
here.
move with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
can
think
I?
should move?
Well, can I just say here what I'm hearing now at this point? This started off as a question about how do I make more male friends, and I think the more into this conversation we get, what I'm hearing actually is that that's not the question you have. The question you have, tell me if I'm wrong here, is I'm feeling insecure because my husband is far away, and I'm by myself, and how do I what do I do about my relationship?
Right, and he has all these female friends.
Yes, exactly.
he has gal pals.
He's confident and he's getting a postdoc and he's off doing his thing. And what do I do to feel secure again and to feel like I'm intimate with this person and blah, 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 blah. I don't think the answer here, unless it is an affair that you're after, is finding male friends. I think the answer here is finding a balance in your relationship where you're feeling more confident. Am I alone in that?
No,
And
I think
also,
that's accurate.
I agree with all that, and I also think it's a little rude for a man to be like, "You need more male friends." I would be slightly offended
I'll be
because I
in
was
the
like,
Bay
"Oh,
Area.
you're not ever jealous of anything," and yeah, I don't know, it's slightly rude
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it
I mean,
gives you
I
the
think-
vibe that you want a guy to you want him to think he's a little jealous, or if
Yeah.
you do are gonna hang out with this guy, maybe he would wonder, whatever, find you
that
desirable.
kind of isn't the thing you want your husband's parting words as he moves to the Bay Area for 2 years. You're like, by the way, as I go, maybe you should make some more male friends. Ta ta. You want the opposite. I miss you. Does he tell you things like that? Like he wants you and desires you and misses you? And
Here's the thing, I'm 100%, he's the most validating person I've ever met.
Good.
I actually don't feel that I have insecurity in that sense. I
Good.
think it's
Good,
more, it's almost just the sense of okay, all my friends are these very validating, encouraging, females, and they're always how are you doing? What are your feelings? And maybe if anything, I just crave a little bit of the sort of masculine friendship of I don't
You
know,
want male
maybe we-
attention. Stop calling it friendship.
yeah,
You want a
attention.
boy.
You're so right,
You
Naomi.
want a man to be like, hey, you want somebody to touch the small of your back in a bar. Okay.
Right.
That's what
I
you
wouldn't
want.
hate
right?
it.
Well, exactly, because you by yourself and he's an SF and you're in Moab.
Move to SF.
No, honey. She got some property.
You're going to have to, at some point, there's no way you're done with the postdoc and you're like, back to Moab.
Okay, why don't you Airbnb that cute little place you have?
That's a very good. That
and
is.
tell him I would like to come stay with you for 3 months. How do you feel about that? And if he's like,
Maybe you should make some more male friends.
then
Then it doesn't take a scientist to figure out what's going on. But I think Naomi's totally right. I think everybody here is right. I think
Yeah?
if you, if
Not you, Nara. You ain't right.
I'm not right. I know. That's why I'm here. I'm not right.
that you need to that you want attention, and I don't think that just going out to like a Moab bar and flirting with guys is going to
One Moab bar.
is going to
The
fill
Moab bar.
you is going to fill you with what you want. I don't think that's going to fill this situation. And maybe I like this Airbnb idea. Moab.
It could be for like it doesn't have to be for the whole time he's there, but like especially as newlyweds, you want to start building your life together. Like that does not seem like a good. Well, I don't want to judge it, but it just feels like all that.
Right. If you can be right, you should be.
Right. It
Yeah.
feels like you're taking a sledgehammer to the foundation.
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I'm a grant writer for a hospital.
So you could you do that remotely?
For sure. Like theoretically.
Yeah.
We think you should. By the way, he has housing, right?
So he has a room in a house.
Well,
And
maybe
I
you
have
have
a
to.
house.
You might have to come up with another solution. Like you guys might have to look for an apartment.
No,
Yeah.
but those prices are no joke. I mean,
No, they are no joke.
I understand what you're saying, especially on a postdoc, whatever little stipend that's going to be.
Right.
It's like just an extra
Yeah.
bird seed. And so it's just sort of like, but I do, I agree with what Natasha's saying. It's like you're missing your man, you're bored in Moab, you're calling into the pod. You know what I'm saying? Like
Just to connect with some men.
So that's what it is. So it's like, go out there. And if there is a way to, Airbnb or just like a little something, so at least you don't.
Well, use the money from the Airbnb, get
To
enough
upgrade.
to pay for your mortgage and a nice place.
that's
in-
tricky.
Yeah.
That's-
Easy. The room's more than the mortgage. So like
Oh my
no
God.
Oh,
problem.
Moab. What a tangled web we weave. I just think for me, 2 years of this is probably untenable. And I don't think the solution is finding a male friend. I don't think you shouldn't find a
And-
male friend. If a male friend
Right.
was in your life, I would say that sounds great. You've got a male friend. Going out on the town in Moab
Right.
looking for like a spelunker for you to like fill the void of male
No, you
attention.
need to talk to
you know what that
him.
ends up with? That ends up with doggy style on top of that arch. You know,
Absolutely.
and then being
Big
like,
regrets.
whoops,
No.
whoops a do. Like,
And I do think you need to talk to him about where do you see your relationship. And you're right, Andy. Like what, in 2 years he's gonna come back to unless he's in love with the place. But like, where does he see himself? Because if he doesn't see himself there really, then you should sell your place or don't you want to build a life? Isn't that the point of getting married, that you're gonna like build a life together?
But they're delaying the question. There's no way he's coming back to Moab, because once you're done, this is why I didn't like academia, because I knew that like I would get my PhD and then I would be in Peoria. I wanted to be in New York. That's where I wanted to be. And
Right,
I
you
knew,
have to go where the job is.
I knew,
right.
I knew there was no way I was going to be. No offense to anyone in Peoria, but I didn't want to be in a small town in the Midwest.
that's what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just get wherever you get a job, you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally what it is. And he's at like UC Berkeley, and it's like a
What do the
super
wives
cool
do? Just go with, or
experience.
the husband, the partners?
Hopefully they find a job there. Like if you're both academics, maybe you get like adjunct teaching where the other person gets a position.
well, he's in the sciences, so he could actually get hired by an actual company and not whatever. What were you doing? Philosophy? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
It's a little different.
But I
There is
mean,
a-
I would sit my partner down and be like, these are 10 cities I could live in.
Yeah.
This is,
for sure.
like you want to like have a working thing together. Like, like this is where I could be. Is this possible? What's our goal? Like there should be some sort of collective goal.
What is
I
that
think.
conversation like when you guys say like, where's this going? Because you're married. You're not
Yeah.
boyfriend and girlfriend. You're married.
We're married big time. I think like you were saying, it's like academia is just this you gotta like take that opportunity, and this just happened like extremely fast. And I was in the position where I was like, I'm not ready to leave. I have a pretty good gig. I'm making more than you. Again, the mortgage is less than one room in a shared house in that area. So we're kind of in a holding pattern right now for sure. But
I think
that's okay
we've all
too. The holding pattern, it happens.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But I think we've all everyone on this podcast here who has the privilege of not being in your relationship is hearing is hearing that you need to not find a new male friend, but go find a way to have a relationship with your husband that is workable. Like,
and just take his male friends.
Exactly.
As my own.
Yeah, sure. But really, you all need to have a conversation, and you need to know, okay, when am I seeing you next? How long is it going to be? let's start to talk about, because as you said, this opportunity just happened so fast, the next one might happen fast. You need a system in place so it doesn't feel like you just out here floundering with your little wine and your caftan. Okay.
It's a really dark beer.
I love a wine and a caftan. I love a caftan moment.
I'm trying to right now look. This is not like you live in, to your point, Peoria. You live in Moab. This is a destination city.
Airbnb, that's what I'm saying.
This is not a stupid idea to Airbnb your place for a year, go work remotely and get an apartment in Berkeley and find a way to subsidize your mortgage and pay for the other half of the studio apartment that you and your husband live in. That's not the craziest set of circumstances that two newlyweds have ever lived in before. If you lived in Peoria, I would say you're fucked. You live in Moab. That's like, people want to be there. So
Yeah.
I think that's a hot idea. Then you could live. Have you ever lived in Berkeley?
Berkeley's cool.
Yeah, one summer.
It's the
I was
best.
21.
Gordo's Burritos is the best burrito I've ever had. I mean, this is not. It's not.
Well, you're acting like Berkeley's cheap. I mean,
It's not cheap. I'm saying,
cheap.
but it's like it's probably worth the cost of not just pining at home like you're a military wife while your husband's deployed when he only lives like 7 hours away from you. Like, get in your car, drive to Berkeley, and go hang out with your man. You want to
14 hours.
Still,
Okay, right.
still, just
But I hear you. There's
Yeah.
a lot more higher density, way more like, people in general.
It's just
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of men in the Berkeley
A
area.
lot of men. Trying to keep my options open.
But I do think having these hard conversations, they always pay off. At least when I've tried, whenever I'm like,
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
I'd rather just like have this just not be talked about, and then when I do that, I feel like it's not fair. And then when I finally say it, everything's always better. So I just think like establishing that kind of communication, like where do you see yourselves,
Where would I have a feeling you would turn a profit on this Airbnb. Just to get back to back to the Judaism of it all. I think you could easily turn a profit. What would your husband say if you were like, hey, you know what? I've been thinking. I called this podcast. I was drinking a dark beer, and I think I'm going to move to Berkeley to be with you. Would he be like, yes?
Yeah, he'd be thrilled. Like I was absolutely the person being like, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nara, is it?
Yes, thank you.
Nara, the answer is very obvious. You need to go, you're looking for a male friend. He lives in Berkeley.
The original male friend.
And he's your best friend.
Yeah, and he's obsessed with you.
He's obsessed. He's absolutely obsessed with you.
Here's the thing too.
He really is.
So much about marriage is like your memories and memories you're making together, and like how do you do that? Is your memories on Zoom, and is your life on what is it? On text? I don't know. I mean, it's
a lot of text.
Go having it. How long you lived in Moab?
9 years.
So you feel like you maybe gotten the Moab experience?
I was going for a decade, but I feel like I'm rounding up here. I'm like pretty close.
Nara,
Definitely.
we are 4 strangers, but we are wise. And we all, as a unit, think it's very obvious. You just need to go be with your husband and see what's there.
Okay.
The answer is obviously not finding a male friend in Moab.
I didn't think that was my problem, but now that I'm hearing you talk about it, like maybe that is the problem, and maybe some listeners will want to rent out a beautiful 3-bedroom furnished basement.
Wow.
Oh my God, Nara, you're going to make so much. You're going to make money. Not only are you going to pour water on the flowering bud that is your marriage, you're going to make money. You're going to be profiting. This is going to be amazing. I'm excited for your financial future.
Thank you so Moshe wants to start an Airbnb management company out of
For
this.
Nara.
For me specifically, just me. It does have to be long-term rental. That's a condition of this particular neighborhood.
Absolutely. No, you want that. You don't want to be having people cycle in and out.
Oh, you're saying
we don't do
they
those
have
nightly.
rules?
Oh, you have an Airbnb rule.
Yeah, there's so much second home ownership here and so much nightly rental stuff that's like completely destroyed the community. So
got it.
Yeah.
What
so
about-
we want people committing for a year.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's too
Wait.
much.
Okay.
That's
Sorry. I don't think
excessive.
this Airbnb thing's going to work.
Stop it.
It's
We
not gonna make
ended
me
on a
very much
high.
money.
Okay, bye. Good luck. Look into the local municipal rules of Airbnb in your community.
Yeah, run for city council.
Maybe change the kind of vibes there. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
good luck, honey.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I have 2 new male friends.
Yeah.
And,
No,
two
Nara,
additional
you
female
don't.
Get
You
away.
don't.
Back away from our men.
I don't let him have female friends. I don't let him have female friends.
None of us are allowed female friends. That's why we're so surprised your man is like, make a male friend, because Natasha and Naomi do not allow us to talk to women when they're not around.
Well, he's very secure. Very secure.
Whoa,
Like I
whoa,
said.
whoa.
All right, good luck,
Good
honey.
luck.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Love
Take
you
care.
too. I mean, how cool is she?
Also,
You're so cool.
it was so easy breezy. Like she has nothing else to do. Her
I
job
know.
is like remote. Like she's, go with your newlywed.
It's just so fun. That was just so funny to me. And it is almost to me a prime example of why people go to therapy, because it's like she came in
yeah.
with one question. And it was like, oh, sis, that ain't it.
That's not it.
The moment she was like, oh, wait. He where? You where? For how
Yeah.
long? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh.
We just did 6 months of therapy in like 10 minutes.
No, it happened. I feel like that happens. There are two very common phenomenon that we experience on this podcast when people call in. One is they're calling with one question and it's the wrong question, and the other is they're calling in with a question and the way they ask the question, they are answering it and they
Yeah.
already knew the answer before they called in. They just needed it reflected back to them. But that was. Yes, you are asking the wrong question. It's so funny to me to be in Moab, which is a beautiful place, but it is fucking tiny. 9 years and just be like, how do I got this husband in one of the great metropolitan areas of the United States. He's engaged. He's at UC Berkeley, so he's really in an upwardly mobile position. I love him the most, and how can I get more out of the Moab experience? No.
My job can be remote.
My job's remote. I think the answer is more Moab. But no, move.
I could not live in a place that had one bar.
I know.
I mean, Moab is a gorgeous place to spend a week or two. And I'm sure it's a great place to live too if you like a small town. But at the 9-year mark with a husband in the Bay Area, it just feels like
And property.
go west, young man.
But I mean, she has property that she can either sell or rent
Sublet
out.
or whatever.
Well, I was gonna say too, if this place is that popular, I'm like, she could sell it for a pretty penny as well.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're kind of done with Moab and you sell that and then you use that as your savings for, okay, we're going to do 3-4 years in the Bay.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You use that as your cushion.
I don't know how much. I mean,
Well, I
now
don't
we're
know.
just learning about real estate.
Well, I know.
And
I'm
Moab. we're just learning
But
about Moab.
let's say it's $500,000. Let's just say.
I'm sure it is. That sounds right.
And that even
$500,000.
feels low, but like because it's Utah, right?
Sure.
But okay, I don't know what happens because I don't
It's like
know.
6 months of rent in San Francisco.
Hold on. Let's look it up.
San Francisco is obnoxious. It's like when you go to a hotel and it's like $19 for a glass of wine. Like whenever they sell things, you just always feel like you're just getting.
Well, it's like my
rolled.
favorite band, Pavement, said. No one said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. From Pavement. Do you remember
Is that really a lyric?
No, I think
Moshe?
is that like Radiohead or Coldplay?
Okay,
or
I thought it was the Friends theme song. I was like, no one told you life was going to be this way? Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let's look up the average before we let you go. And I know you guys probably are toxically wanting to leave our, but let's see what is the average home price
In Moab?
Moab, Utah. Let's see here. Moab, no results.
Gotta be like
Zillow.com says
Moab, no results. Why? Why no results? That doesn't make sense.
That's crazy.
all right, Moshe. Well, maybe.
Well, we'll figure that
All right,
out.
we'll
You
figure
guys
it out.
post that.
Finn.
Post that to stories
Could you
or
stay for
something.
2 more hours while we just do some Googling? Just some light Googling.
You guys are so funny. Hold on, our podcast producer is raising her hand. Yes. Oh, okay.
We've got the answer. The median home price in Moab, $762,000.
So it's on the high side.
Now, let me say that the average home price in Berkeley, about 1.1 million. So I don't feel like this is an unrealistic move for this person.
Well,
you can use it as a down payment.
Well,
on a
exactly.
thing.
You take that, and if you put it in, then you have to pay those taxes on it. I've been reading.
Yeah.
And so you take that, you sell that property, you put that right into the next one,
Yep.
and then there you go.
My friend Michael Brayard at Caldecott Properties in Oakland can help you get the Bay Area home of your dreams today. Just go ahead and give him a call.
When people start talking about that, I can't follow. I can't understand equity or
Yeah.
All I want is
I'm
to
with
own
you.
property. That's like literally all I want, and I don't think it'll ever happen now.
It will happen.
stop.
You're so
Because-
successful.
But because the only places I live are just so expensive. That's what I'm saying. Because I would say yes, I think I'm doing all right, and yet it still is the price of the houses keep going up. So
well,
I can't
everything's
catch up to-
inflated right now.
Yeah.
Because if you buy it now, is it not anyway?
It's like all I'm obsessed with. I'm like sometimes, I just like curl up. I like to sit in the shower and I just sit and I just have my phone and then I just scroll through a little Redfin, little Zillow, little Trulia. And I just look at them.
Wait, your phone doesn't get wet?
No, it's all about the angle of the shower. When you're sitting, you're not like
That
fully.
is so cute.
I can hear your
love
mom.
it.
I did not sacrifice all of this for you to not own property with your burgeoning stand-up comedy career. You're successful, but where is the property? You know what?
You guys are so funny. I'm so happy you came over.
thank you so
That's
much
the best.
for
We've
coming.
kept you up past your bedtime,
No.
because we're childless though, so we're up all night. And so just thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yes, thank you.
And because you guys are such a delight on the podcast, I actually have a property for you.
This is what I've always hoped.
Good news.
You've
there's good
always
news.
wanted a white person to give you
There's
property.
really good news and really bad news. You can afford it. That's the good news.
Okay.
Okay. It's a really nice place. It's 3 bedrooms. It's a furnished basement. Here's the bad news.
God damn
It is in Moab, Utah. I don't know that you're going to really thrive in your career there, but I do think you'll be able to afford it.
Do you think if we weren't going to be in Los Angeles, we would go to Moab?
I think Peoria, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's the number one.
Couples therapy, and check out both of our guests' amazing comedy wherever you can. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the best. Any
Thanks.
dates or anything to plug or anything you want to say before you go?
I'll be at Largo October 21st if anyone wants to come hang out.
The lovely Largo.
Have a little fun.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Couples therapy will be on your podcast whenever you'll have us.
Excellent.